Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final day of Play Every Day. We're so happy to have you here, and we are so lucky that you've stuck through with all the technical difficulties we have, but it truly humbles us, even overcoming these obstacles, and puts an emphasis on your innovations in ed tech and the need to continue in this area. First, I want to thank you, all our sponsors who have helped us through this event. LEGO Foundation has been with us since the beginning, helping us formulate some of the sessions, and definitely have been an integral piece in the formation of this event. EdTech Hub has been a great partner through all of this, ultimately helping the M Education Alliance become its own nonprofit. And RTI has continually been a supporter of the M Education Alliance throughout the years. Think Fun and Rock, Paper, Scissors are additionally great partners to have and have definitely supplied some great prizes throughout this event. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors. Yesterday, Scott talked about the 3 goals of the M Education Alliance, and today I want to emphasize the second one, communicating, since I am the communications lead. And apologies, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Nicole Carney, the communications lead for the M Education Alliance, and happy to be speaking to you today. So I'm going to go over a couple of our communications products that we offer through the M Education Alliance, since it is one of our goals. Hopefully all of you are subscribed to our e-news. This is a regular distribution of updates from our Alliance members, from events, and different elements that we try to get out on a weekly basis. Additionally, we have supported a YouTube channel where we uploaded all the presentations from this event, as well as the live discussions. And additionally, we're looking at contributing to a future podcast, so be on the lookout for that. At the end of this month, we are looking to release our first edition of the EdTech Connected, an electronic magazine. As you can see here, we'll have a variety of different sections that will be included in it, including a main feature section, an advice column, letter from the editor. We'll be featuring researchers in ed tech. We'll have recorded interviews. As you can see from this photo here, we've conducted one with Jackie Strecker from UNHCR. I'm happy to feature that, as well as some additional researchers in the field. Additionally, we'll be looking at adding a section of what you missed, different events taking place throughout the year, and we'll offer additionally a sponsors feature section. So if you're looking at becoming a sponsor, we're happy to feature you there. And of course, events is a main piece of the M Education Alliance, as you are participating in the M Education Alliance Play Every Day event. But prior to this, we have hosted a variety of events, one called Going Global, where we featured ed game developers from the US who are looking to reach the international market. That can be found on our webpage, as well as Coding Global, where we had dialogue with those in the field looking to expand coding resources to those in low resource settings. Additionally, we're looking to host additional events, including e-cafes, of those intimate discussions with the practitioners in the field. And of course, we want you to stay connected. So continually subscribe for our e-news and follow us on social media. And overall, we're just happy that you could attend this event and looking forward to staying connected with you in the future. So I'm going to stop my presentation now and introduce our next person, our next speaker. So I'm happy to introduce Molly Jameson Eberhardt. She is the director for the EdTech Hub, a global research partnership working to empower people making decisions about education technology. She leads country partnerships, including short-term technical assistance through the Hub's help desk and longer-term research collaborations focused on evidence uptake. As a program director at Results for Development, which is one of the Hub's core partners, Molly has spent the last several years overseeing R4D's evaluation and adaptive learning work in the global education practice. This is a portfolio of partnerships with funders and implementers working to iteratively, test and improve their programming in pursuit of sustainable learning outcomes. So welcome, Molly, and I will hand it over to you.
Thanks, Nicole. I'm happy to be here. Hi, everyone. I'm Molly Eberhardt, as Nicole said, one of the directors of the EdTech Hub. We're proud to be one of the supporters of the Education Alliance and Play Every Day. Soon after the pandemic led to widespread school closures, Sal Khan, who I probably don't need to tell you is the founder of Khan Academy, said, "We realized it's one of those moments where you look left, you look right, and you're like, this is us." When I look at the names and faces that have been presenting and participating in the dozens of sessions this week, I get the same feeling. This is a group of people who have dedicated years, careers, lives to the creative and persistent pursuit of bringing joy to learning. They've done that by using tools that range from the techiest high tech to the lowest of the low tech. So when I think about the staggering challenge posed by this year's global school closures, I think this is us. It's hard to imagine a moment where the world could need this group of people more. By definition, those of us who have come together for this event are not merely onlookers who will eagerly watch to see what happens. We aren't waiting to see if the pandemic will undo decades of progress and widen inequality, or if instead the chance to rethink what learning looks like, what it feels like, who takes part in it, might just give us a chance to accelerate innovative and learner-centered models. We're not watching, we're not waiting, we're doing. We're doing everything we can to move reality in the direction of that second vision. We're testing and scaling, piloting, redesigning, studying, measuring, taking risks, sharing failures, investing, collaborating, fast-tracking, open sourcing. And on top of all that, the reason we're in this shared space this week is that we're also trying to be more than the sum of our parts. But what does that really mean? What would be different in a year, say, if we were authentically able to consolidate all that we each will go and learn during that time? If all that testing, scaling, studying, investing, fast-tracking were fed into a global vault of evidence and learning that we all contributed to and all benefited from? We could exponentially expand our understanding of how play-based approaches can promote lifelong learning and how technology might help. But for that to happen, we have to think of today as the beginning of an urgent countdown to greater collective understanding, not the end of a virtual event. So, what can you commit to? What contribution to our collective knowledge can you make in the next year? Take a minute. Think about it. Pop it in the chat if you're so inclined. Maybe it's sharing measurement tools or findings from an RCT that you've been part of. Maybe it's telling the story of when things didn't go well, the unglamorous behind the scenes reality. Maybe it's offering your tech expertise to a content creator. Maybe it's offering your pedagogical expertise to a tech entrepreneur. Here's a couple of things that we at the EdTech Hub can commit to. We'll support researchers in Africa and Asia to conduct research about how tech can strengthen education systems, support teachers, and meet learners' needs. We'll promise to publish the advice we give to governments through our help desk service so others can make use of it too. We'll share learning from our experimental sandboxes where we'll support cohorts of innovators to test out interventions aligned to a common theme but across different contexts. And we'll work closely with the Education Alliance team to bring us all back together next year, hopefully in person, to continue to build our collective wisdom. So thank you to all the presenters this week, to the LEGO Foundation, to the MED team. I'll see you next year. Back to you, Tony.
Hey, Molly, can you see me? Where is he? Well, good morning, everyone, or early afternoon. It's a pleasure to see you all again. Thanks for staying with us for the third day of the symposium. Typically, this is the time of the symposium when we have the physical event that many of the colleagues have had a chance to meet with each other. So really excited. Hopefully, you've taken advantage of all those opportunities. I also want to thank Molly and the colleagues from the the EdTech Hub for the support that they've provided for the M Education Alliance in general, but not least of which the technical engagement with so many members that are working with Molly and other parts, affiliates of the EdTech Hub. But I can't provide thank yous now unless I give credit also to Nicole, who you saw at the beginning of the presentation. She and her colleague, Lisa, and others have been working behind the scenes to make sure that this event is as successful as possible, notwithstanding a few technical glitches. And I should mention that they weren't necessarily our fault in terms of the platform that we're using. So I guess basically one of the lessons that we've learned that we'll be happy to share with the wider community. But basically, Nicole, thanks for all your help. Your and Scott coming on board a few months ago to join the M Education Alliance nonprofit has been absolutely outstanding. At the end of the event, we'll give credit to other individuals involved in the planning. Well, I'm pretty sure you've been bombarded by this point with references to Escape the Symposia. We're delighted that so many of you have taken part of this. We're also thrilled that Scott Nicholson, one of the presenters in the next session, will be speaking about escape rooms, and I believe that may be a topic of some of the other presenters in our showcase this afternoon. But we're also doing this as an experiment. We try every M Education Alliance to have a new feature, and we think that an Escape the event might be a really exciting addition to programs that we offer in the future that you might consider as well. So you're also helping experiment in terms of retention of knowledge. Is this also a vehicle that classroom teachers could use or have been using, but more in a developing country context? That actually will be one of the activities I'll speak about in a moment, the Escape the room experiences in low resource settings. Well, for those who haven't yet participated in the Escape the Symposium, it's not too late, but just to provide a few incentives, we're delighted again that ThinkFund's a sponsor, but here are some of the games that they're offering. In fact, ThinkFund has donated 50 of its games for event participants. And so these are just some of the great games. Bill Ritchie, the co-founder of ThinkFund Games, which was part of our expo yesterday, talked specifically about his experiences with math dice and some of the other games you may be familiar with as well. So that is one form of support we really appreciate. This is the third year that ThinkFund has provided sponsorship support for the Alliance. So thank you, Bill, to you and your colleagues. Some time ago, we were also introduced to Rock, Paper, Scissors. And if you're not familiar with this company, they produce print-at-home escape room kits. So my family and I did the Escape Z Room. We were successful in it being able to escape, just to let you know. So it's a really intriguing concept of being able to do your own print-at-home escape rooms. So they're also offering sponsorship support for both free and then a 50% discount on the escape room experience. Happy to tell you about that. We were thrilled to have a Bongo Kids or a Bongo present yesterday, and they've offered a t-shirt and a bag for participants as well. In general, we're basically going to do it like a lottery. At the end, we'll tell you about the next stage of the prize awards. But again, are really excited just to have some prizes to be able to feature to our registrants for this year's event. Oh, and there's more. So for those that participate in the escape room, you'll see that at the very end, we're actually asking you to help add your own chapter for a new future showing, Escape the Symposium 2.0. How exciting. You could help us build the adventure. We're asking each presenter, so inclined, to send us their own part of the story with a clue and a hint and an answer related to some aspect of their presentation that viewers of Escape the Symposium could participate in the future. What we're really excited is about having so many of you who had pre-recorded your presentations, let alone the presentations of the sessions, that we want to offer this event, the basically Play Every Day, as an asynchronous event in the future, not too far in the future, that people could participate who weren't able to attend the event in person, such as you're doing. So we thought this will, again, be a really exciting feature of being able to share that knowledge with other audiences. And similarly, you could let your own colleagues in networks know about this as well. But if each presenter, for example, each presenter team sends us a chapter related to the story that you'll have to see when you do the Escape the Symposium, then we can mix and match a variety of formats for people to, again, go through the Escape the Symposium with a variety of different paths. How exciting would that be? So basically just encourage you to do the Escape the Symposium and follow the instructions about how to send your own chapter. Happy to answer questions about that. Now, I thought I'd present this now rather than at the end when we just do sort of general wrap up. Way that you can engage with the organizers of this event after the event. So you've heard about our launch of the Math Attacks crowdfunding campaign. For further information about which you could find on the M Education Alliance website. Now, the first part of this initiative is basically a crowdfunding campaign. We're hoping to raise $50,000 by the end of October, basically to use as incentive prizes for organizations that will be competing to submit platforms related in effect to a math game engine. There will be a way that could disseminate math game descriptions on the front end using low resource technologies, radio, video, interactive voice response, texting, for example. But the back end can be sophisticated as a range of game examples, game descriptions come in that we basically match with a set of criteria and then could export through the front end platform. So again, you can find more information about this on the M Education Alliance website. We welcome strategic partners and would love to have organizations or individuals contribute. And one measure of which, if you found this symposium valuable, we didn't charge for any admission for this year's event, but we'd be delighted if your form of contribution is you'd like to contribute to our crowdfunding campaign. Please let us know if there's other ways that you'd like to serve as strategic partners as well, or technical partners. We're also excited to have a range of math champions and associations and other development organizations, such as Education for All and Save the Children, as other collaborators. A special shout out for another one of the organizations with whom we're working on Math Attacks. We'd also like to help organize global and nationally focused virtual math festivals. It's probably no surprise that there were so many math related presentations as part of this symposium. We had the good fortune, quite frankly, to meet the Julie Robinson Math Festival. So Mark Saul, colleagues Daniel and Nancy as well from the Julie Robinson Math Festival. And for a number of years have just had engaged dialogues with them about the important work that they do. Other individuals with whom we've met, Bill Ritchie, we mentioned as the Think Fund founder, James Tanton, which I hope a number of you got a chance to visit his expo yesterday in terms of his Global Math Day. And then some new friends that you've probably heard from, Scott Kim, who gave our keynote presentation, Gord, who helped present as well, and some other colleagues as well, all who are engaged with us in looking at math as an area that we can help support. So virtual math festivals, in some respects, may look similar to this event, but be exclusively focused on math. And we'd like to help organize a number of those over the year as well. So please let us know if you'd like more information about the Math Festival. Scott Nicholson, who will be presenting in the next session I had mentioned, along with other colleagues who have been looking at escape rooms or escape games for education. We're really intrigued by this concept. How can you do escape games in low resource settings and low tech or no tech? So that would be a particular area that we're also interested in finding collaborators in. And lastly, for those that attended or have heard reference to Math Dice, one of the Think Fund's early products, and Bill Ritchie had spoken about yesterday. I'll show you the next slide in terms of a reference to Math Dice. We're interested in helping inculcate more Math Dice competitions around the world. So this is a picture from when my family and I traveled to Zambia in 2014, in the summer of 2014. And we actually were at a school in Zambia and serving as math game tutors for 2 weeks, basically with the suitcase full of math games that we were able to introduce from grade 2nd through 5th. So this is my son, Casey, at the time. My other son, Jesse, was there, and my wife, Anne. And one of the tools that we had that teachers and students absolutely loved was Math Dice. And we ran competitions again, 2nd through 5th grade. So it really underscored the idea of you don't need technology to engage students in some really dynamic ways to learn math, for example, and would welcome those that are interested in similarly finding out how to do Math Dice competitions in their countries as well. So basically, at this point, I want to sort of conclude a few minutes early. I want to thank everybody for participating as well in regards to the event that we have so far. Stay strong and energized in the next half day. We have some really exciting presenters at the end. I wanted to conclude a minute or two early because if you haven't taken advantage of the networking, so now is a great opportunity to do that. Also check out the Symposium. So without further ado, again, wanted to welcome you to the third day and look forward to hearing from you in the course of this morning. Thanks so much.